Loveliest woman in America, about my grandmother Rosamond Pinchot, who was the niece of Gifford Pinchot, the first chief of the U.S. Forest Service. I was born in Tangier, Morocco, and as I said, I'm a landscape architect, so I also worked at Central Park in New York City, redeveloping some of the entrances to the park as a landscape architect quite a few years ago. What else can I say? I'm absolutely fascinated by women's issues. And I went on a great journey a few years ago to find out where I was born, which was Tangier. I never had completely understood why I was born there. I still haven't gotten to the bottom of it, but not that important. I think what's most important is to say that I've begun a new book on the first class of American foresters, which my great uncle Gifford had trained between 1905 and 1910. And I find them to be sort of contemporary heroes. Very, very exciting story I'm putting together that I think will revivify our sense of history and make us believe in ourselves again. So.
How empowering. Thank you, Bibi.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'm Elaine Barsoon. It's an honor to be here amongst these people. I was born in New Jersey, but I'm of Egyptian descent, so my parents immigrated here right before I was born, which I've always had a very, very strong connection to Egypt, and was fortunate enough to have traveled there quite a bit since I was a child, and my father was back and forth, so really, really was able to spend some time in the country and reconnect with my roots. And have always had this burning flame in me to help women and to really just give back to the country, but also women's issues. It's always been something of strong importance to me, probably because I come from such a patriarchal society and have seen women just be vindicated in just so many ways. And so about 6 years ago I started a nonprofit organization dedicated to widows in Egypt, actually. And it's kind of interesting how it came about. I come from a family of widows. I never met my grandfather, my grandmother, and like I said, a very patriarchal society where women are just required to take a back seat to men. And when I started really spending some time in the country, I realized that there was just the whole idea of children living on the streets, and all came from this epidemic of widowhood. You know, women become the social status of the totem pole, but then you couple that with the issue of widowhood, and it's even quadrupled. And so I actually just returned from Egypt last night, so I'm fortunate to be here. So to date, we've empowered and given about 5,000 microloans to women in Egypt. And have been able to both not financially empower them, but emotionally empower them as well. And that is just, you know, this lost cycle of children that end up in orphanages. Really, it just trickles down. When you help the women, you help the children.
That's right.
And you're really able to empower them. So
Right.
it was really exciting, you know, to see these. We have these what's called these social groups that 15 women come together and take out a loan for 1 year and have this accountability to each other, and they choose each other. And just the empowering effect that you have on the women, so deep and incredible, really helping them rise back to their status in society and help each other as well.
That's really
So,
fantastic.
That's
My mother was part of the original anti-poverty movement set up in the 1960s out of West Virginia and Appalachia. And so I was raised and brought up with that community. And then she also was part of a group that we're just now hearing a lot about that was set up in the state of Vermont, called Brock, that really went in and sourced out the roots of what causes poverty and dysfunction in a community and solves it at the root of the problem and corrects it.
And it's not just widows, it's also female heads of household, so you don't have to be, or you know, a lot of these women, the men are can't move or are sick for some
Well,
reason.
my mother always had a very cute expression, and it sort of relates to this and sort of doesn't, and maybe you'll appreciate it. She always said that if you wanted to meet a really wonderful person, that you went to the mother, and if you also wanted to source an asshole, you also go to the mother. That mothers really were the course correction for the universe. And she felt very strongly about that.
It's very true. So.
Yeah.
That's my
Well, thank you.
true passion. So.
Okay.
And I'm an entrepreneur on the side.
And Jei, I'm gonna skip you for the moment because we can talk about ourselves all kinds of times. And Miss Fit, welcome to the
Hello.
I understand you also just flew back from London yesterday. Is that
did,
correct? So
I
we've
did.
got world travelers here today. Thank you.
Yeah, I need to do a little importing on the tape before we go any further.
Okay,
So can
remember
we,
we're on a quick time limit.
okay, yeah, so we need to take a little bit of a break.
Okay, we
Like,
gotta
okay.
hurry though.